So first thing first, we're gonna wrap this shoebox. I have my wrapping paper. When it comes to size and how long and wide to cut, let me get my water out of the way. You want to roll out your paper, put your item within the paper. I like to you need to wrap your item face down because this is going to be, can I get water on this? This is going to be the part, this is going to be the top. So when you're trying to figure out where to cut, you want to take one side and put it, this is probably not the best. And take one side to get it to the middle. Now that we see that this side of the paper is in the middle, then we want to bring this other side of the paper to the middle. So now we have our length, and this is where we want to cut. I'm like super good at this. I can eyeball it. Then you just cut it down. You want it to be perfectly, you don't need it to be straight, but I mean, if you want to do less work, you kind of want the paper, so you want to cut the paper as straight as you can. All right, so now that we got that cut, this is the side of the paper that I cut by hand, and this is the side of the paper that was pre-cut, so it's going to be the straightest. This is the side of the paper that I'm going to want to go on the top. So this is where it comes into a tape war. The best gift wrappers can wrap with 3 pieces of tape. I can wrap with 3 pieces of tape most of the time, but for teaching purposes, we're gonna do a 4-piece tape method. You're gonna take down the first side, and then you're gonna pull this paper over as tight as possible. You want to create as much of a crease as you can. So the tighter the better without ripping the paper. So got it as tight as we can pull it. And now we're going to tape down that side. So now we're taped up and you see, nice and crisp. So now we need to work on our ends. As you can see in here, the box is back there. We want to give ourselves enough room. This is probably the perfect amount of paper so that we are able to fold and there's nothing showing. What the worst thing that you can do is fold your ends and still have part of your box or your package still showing. So what I recommend is more is always better. Less is horrible. So rather have more piece of paper and cut down than to have not enough paper and have to fill in. Filling in is, I'm just gonna say it's trash. It's trash. So we don't want to do that. So focus on having more, and you can bend and stuff. I'd rather you bend and stuff than to have to fill in. Okay. So now that we have that, the trick to the ends is you want to fold your first side, your corner, all the way. We're gonna make like a small. Mind you, you want your edges to be super crisp, okay? So fold it in as far as you can and as close to the box as possible. We want to make a small triangle at the bottom and at the top. So we're gonna fold this side in too. Yes, this is gonna crinkle. It's gonna crinkle. See, that middle part is gonna fall in. But that's okay, all right? You fold it all the way in on this side, and then you crease it on down. Make that a nice sharp line. And you're gonna do the same thing on the other side. You're gonna fold it into the box all the way in. See, that bottom corner is what you want. You want this bottom corner to be folded all the way in. And you're gonna crease it on this side. Now we have our top. Now the top, people think, is what matters the most, but I'm here to tell you, it really doesn't. You just want to make sure that when you're folding your top, You're doing the same things. Don't worry about this middle section. This middle section of paper here, you're not going to be able to see that. So just take your top, fold in your corners, and push it all the way down. Now, if you have white paper like I have here, we don't want that to show. That's not cute. So I'm gonna fold that in just a little bit. And once we got that folded down, we're going to fold this up. So now we can see a triangle. But we see that we still have this white piece of paper that we want to get rid of because that's not cute. So we're gonna fold this in even more, as much as we can, and we're gonna fold this up. And I'm gonna do a little bit of digging, fold it up, and now we have our triangle. This, guys, is our third piece of tape. And then you're gonna tape that right there. See that? Nice side. You're gonna do the same thing with this side, but I can already tell that this is way too much paper, so I'm gonna cut it. If you need to cut, you bring both sides together, just like this. You take your scissors, and you cut across. Always keep your spare parts. You never know what you might need it for. So I'm gonna fold this side in, make your bottom triangle. Fold that side in. Remember, as close to the box as you can. And then you're gonna fold your top in. The second side is always the easiest because you can use it, you can actually lift it up. And then, guys, that's our fourth piece of tape. And your gift is wrapped. Perfectly wrapped Christmas gifts. All right. Okay, so I'm back to wrapping these gifts. Gifts are here. Got wrapping paper ribbon from Target today. And I do think I'm gonna go with the red and the black, but I also got this, and it's more of like a brown checker. That's kind of cute too with a hint of red, but I think I want the total contrast. So this ribbon was $5 and $6. And then these are actually ornaments, but they're super cute, and I like to use different unique things for tags. And you can always like write the name right there on the top. These are a little bit harder to use, but the stars, I think they're super cute. And like you can even use this. You can just put this, it's like stick this onto something. So I got these from the Target dollar section. All right, first one we're gonna wrap ribbon is this one. So this gift is actually for Corey. So when I wrap it, I do want it to be nice because it's for him. And you can do your ribbons when you tie them. You can do them all different types of ways. It just depends. Am I gonna wrap this 4 ways? Probably. I'm gonna wrap this around 4 times, like around the sides, both sides. So what I like to do is first, let me bring the camera a little bit closer. So when I'm cutting my ribbon, cut them, and sometimes depending on your scissors, I'm sure once you cut fabric, you've gotta use the same scissors, but whatever. So cut into the middle and then back down to the next. Again, the scissors, man. Back down to the next corner. All right, and then that's how you get your ribbon cut. And we'll do the other side once we start. Now this is the front, so you always want to start with the front side. You're gonna turn it over to your back. You're gonna make sure that your pieces are even up here, that these pieces are even. Then you're going to tie, bring it across in the back. Now, you can either do yours straight across the middle. I sometimes like to do mine at the top so that the bow is at the top, and that's what I'm gonna do this time. And as you can see, I should have measured it, I didn't. I didn't cut it long enough, but that's okay. I'm fine with that. Doesn't need a super large bow. I'm gonna just tie it in a knot. That'll be a short bow, or you can even just tie it like this. Actually, I just feel like when you're wrapping your gifts, you can play with it. There's no right or wrong way to tying the bow. It just has to look pretty. And so you fluff it up. The good ribbons come with wires on the sides, so you're able to adjust and move. I just adjust and fluff them and tuck the ends to make them look like they're curling. So just tuck that over there like this. Tuck that one. And then on this side, we never cut it, but we're gonna just tuck it, tuck and roll, tuck and roll. So look at that. Not even really a full bow, but it looks pretty, super cute, and I love it. And now we're gonna take one of our ornaments. I'm going to cut this at the top, cut the knot off so that we can tie it to the bow. Cut something off here. These scissors are not the best. All right, once I cut it, I'm going to then take my finger, put it between the long strip and the bow, and then take the string, pull it around that bow, tie your knot. Ideally, you want the knot to be behind the bow so that no one can see the knot, so that it's pretty, it's hanging there, and the string is discreet. You just tie it. You can cut off any excess pieces. I tend to like the more rustic look, so I'm probably not gonna cut it. So it just gives it a little bit of definition. I'm gonna tuck that one piece, gives it a little bit of character. And there you go. You got your wrapped pretty present. I'm gonna write Corey's name on there. And I have like little small, tiny little markers. So it'll say to Coke from Mamas. And that's it. All nice, pretty, and ready to go under the tree. All right, so now I'm going to do the same thing for this one. I'm going to use this. Ribbon instead, just because this is a gift that I'm giving to someone outside of my family. Like, so this is like a real gift, I like to say. So I'm gonna wrap this one a little different. I'm not gonna go both sides, but I do want the bow to be a little bit more dramatic. So I'm going to do my bow this way. So you see how I have, let me pull this camera up. I've looped this so that it's all the way to the top of here, but then I bring it back down to make it come all the way back to the bottom here. And then I'm gonna cut my string here. So that's gonna just give me some extra wiggle room to play with for the bow. I'm gonna cut it straight across because I don't know how this bow is gonna come out yet. And again, I just like to play around with this. These scissors are just trash. I just like to play around with my bows. There is, like I said, there's really no, there we go. There's really no right or wrong to doing the bow. You just have to be kind of creative. If you're not creative, it's really just all about taking your time to bend it. This, oh, this does. I was gonna say, this ribbon does not have any wires, but it does. Okay, so this bow, I'm gonna always do the same thing. Tie it in the middle, and I'm going to tie it like a shoestring. Just tie it like you would tie your shoes. Make a bow. There. I'm gonna do it one more time because I'm gonna make this a 4 bow. And I'm gonna do it the opposite direction. So these two are going this way, these two will go this way, and they're gonna be slightly smaller. Or maybe the same size. But I kind of wanted them to be slightly smaller, so I'm gonna pull them out. Yeah, perfect. And then tighten that up. You can keep pulling as you tighten to make it whatever size you want. Now that it's on there, I'm going to bend and fluff. And that's really the trick of the bow, to be able to bend and fluff is really how you make your bow stand out. It's really all in the bend and the fluff. Bend and fluff, bend and fluff. So now one other trick that I like to do is the swirl. So I can swirl my excess pieces and make them look like little curlies, like little curly hairs or curly fries. Make sure you just tuck those ends because they can have wires that kind of like come out, and that is not cute and slightly dangerous. And then, can you see that? You have your second bow. Again, it's really just all in the bend and the fluff. I'm going to put a tag on this. And tie it, because this one is super busy. It shouldn't be hard to hide. Tie the string, and then right on the tag. And you always like the tag to kind of like hang in the middle so that it's like as a part of the bow. I think it looks cuter, better that way. And then write the name, and then you're all done. And that's it, good to go. We have 2 beautiful wrapped gifts with some pretty bows. And it was super simple and super easy and pretty affordable.